Let's get the opening bell here in the CNBC Real-Time Exchange. With a big board, it's Floor & Decor celebrating the opening of its first warehouse in Brooklyn, first warehouse store.
And it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous store.
And to the NASDAQ, it's AI software company Zapata celebrating its recent listing via SPAC. Jim, you talk about consumer risks. JP Morgan desk today says maybe we're in a, quote, virtuous circle where consumer demand means corporate margins are solid, which means layoffs are less likely, which means employment's good and the consumer's solid.
Well, I think that was the view from 6 weeks ago, and that things changed a bit. I think that the backup in rates actually had more of an impact than I thought. The home builders would agree with me. The backup in rates did cause some people to misjudge and hold back on things. I mean, if you look at Ferrari, which had a good quarter, but they talked about how they had this model change, whatever, but they talked about normalizing. This is this whole notion of normalizing. The people realize, wait a second, we've gone too high. We've been meeting demand, and now we think that the Fed's going to raise, maybe not cut. I know this was a theme that happened in the month of April, and that is Ferrari's had a much worse day yesterday. So I think that's a narrative that happened before April, and I would have believed in that, but I don't think it's as virtuous now. That's not what you get when you have Nucor coming down, when you have steel coming down. It's not what you get when you have airline prices coming down. It's not what you get when you have
and the employment number coming down.
Yeah, and I think that's look. If we get to 4, then I think Jay has the cover to be able to cut, and then you have a pretty. That's the virtuous circle. The virtuous circle is that the economy slows down for some, not others, and you have to pick which ones are good. And at the same time, you have to also buy Pfizer and Merck, because Pfizer's turning, the Seagen acquisition's apparently going to be good, David, and Merck, all the different things that Rob Davis bought are working. So you have to have this kind of barbell. You have to have both.
The other dynamic right now, Jim, is what some argue is geopolitical risk coming out of the market, where people think neither Israel nor Iran have the stomach for escalation. We got WTI in correction mode now, off of 85 down to 76.
I'm glad you mentioned WTI, because this is the real demand level. Now, remember, we have had an appreciable decline in oil being pumped in the Permian in the last 4 weeks. So you're seeing a number that would have gone the other way if we had any tension, maybe high. Because, Dave, we may not even do 13 million a day. And that has to do with some piping inefficiency, according to Rusty Brazil, is my guy down there.
Right.
So you've got a situation where oil, just on its own, in terms of how much is being pumped, would indicate there'd be tightness. Russia, we don't know. Russia's a black box. We just don't know what's going on in Russia.
Well, we know India and China is where much of that oil, if not almost all of it, is ending up.
And copper hasn't come down at all. But copper's also data center, so it has a second wind at its back. I'm just saying that oil is a brown shoe. Remember, I'm using this term.
Who gives a good oil prognostication? I feel like
Brazil.
Really? Because I feel like we get endless people who come on and they're almost always wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, thank you for confirming that.
That's true. I mean, I was talking...
wasn't it a couple weeks ago we were going to go to 100? I thought that's where we were headed.
For 19 years, I write the Mad Money with my nephew, Cliff Mason. And we're kicking around the notion of tenured analysts. It doesn't matter. They can say whatever they want. They're tenured.
Examples?
Well, I don't want to single out anybody.
Oh, okay.
That would be mean. Like mention like a guy like Wilson. What do you think? I'm some sort of hypocritically mean person?
Yep.
I'm not like that. I used to be. David remembers when I used to be.
Oh, yeah. This is the nicer, kinder, gentler you.
You bet it is.
Yeah,
God,
for sure.
Yeah, Starbucks can attest to that.
Yeah, of course. Luxman is definitely feeling that. He's like, oh, really glad I didn't get the old Jim.
He only threw a pen at me, not a phone.
The forecast of the forecast.
And the forecast called for pain.
By the way, we haven't...
Alto's down. I had him on last night. I thought he was great in the cash. The stock's down. There was absolutely nothing wrong. Stock's down big. I mean, stocks are going down.
Who was on yesterday? What? Who are you talking about?
Well, I'm just saying, I'm looking at stocks that are down big where there's nothing.
Although you also had Steve Huffman on. Interesting quote out of Reddit.
Oh, my. Now, that's just a great story. And you have an acceleration of Reddit users. You have people who are discovering this as a way to be able to, what he calls, not age out. I mean, if you look at Snap, which had a good quarter, the people who look at Snap, they age out. Eventually, you don't want to continue to, you don't want to stick with them. But Reddit has a core group of people that start between 18 and 25, and they just gain in terms of the adherence of Reddit. So I thought that's a terrific story. And if we weren't in kind of like a downbeat mode, I would say Reddit would be up 6 or 7 as it was last night.
Well, it's
really
not 14% anymore as we just put something up, but it is still having a nice
it's a downbeat
morning.
day. I mean, no one's listening to me on this brown shoot thing, but
I don't agree. People are listening to you. That's not true. Yeah, they are.
That's
why Uber's down 9%. Brown shoots? I don't know. Or is it just concern about
a bit? Yeah. He missed a little. You can't miss by anything in this market. That's why I think that the virtuous circle, I don't mean to pick on that person. It's just that's not what I'm seeing.
Yep.
I'm seeing a lot of companies seeing a tick down where they didn't expect to. And a lot of it had to do with the backup in rates. And the backup in rates was something that may have turned out to be a jawboning by Jay, where he didn't have to raise rates. All he had to do was say, look, I don't know what we're going to do. And then send out some of those, the Babbitts, the Sinclair Lewis Babbitts, to talk about how maybe we should be raising rates. The Babbitts, the Rotary guys, actually, I like Rotary. But, Babbitt, that... Right. They kind of came out and they did their job. They talked up, they had rates go up because they said things like, well, maybe what are you reading that's so interesting that you're not paying attention to me?
I'm reading the Arista Networks call.
That was that was 2 blocks ago.
No, we didn't actually get to it, if you recall. We didn't really even show
in Jim's
the
mind,
stock
we got
price.
to it.
Yes, in Jim's mind. He thought of it, but he didn't say it. See, the key, Jim, is actually saying the words. Not that you don't say your fair share.
I have his RPO. I did RPO, and not the kind of RPO that
let's
she
take
has.
a look at Arista Networks and trying to actually explain why the two of us, at least, are taken with it a little bit. What I was reading, Jim, were comments from
the call. You don't have to
from the CEO, who I think is going to be on Mad Money tomorrow.
Trying to make that work.
Oh, you're trying?
No, I think I got it.
Okay, good.
A lot of my money.
Talking about today, they deliver into the data center. They connect everything in there, help connect things in the data center.
Ethernet.
And there was a question on the call.
InfiniBand is the way.
InfiniBand is NVIDIA's.
That's NVIDIA.
Right.
But people like Ethernet. They like JStream.
And the question on the call was, is there going to be a pause while everybody waits for Blackwell? And the answer was, we're not seeing a pause.
Right.
I don't think anybody's going to wait for Blackwell necessarily in 24 because they're still bringing up their GPU clusters.
Right.
That is the clusters. And how a cluster is divided across multiple tenants, the choice of host, memory, storage, architecture, optimizations on the GPU for collective communication, and on from there. All of which is to say, again, quoting the CEO, a good scale-out network has to be built no matter whether you're connecting to today's GPUs or to future Blackwells.
Well, I'm so glad you mentioned that because the wrap, just so we know, on the coming quarter, the May 22nd quarter, for the big dog, for NVIDIA, is that what will happen is that they will have a transition, not unlike, say,
So you'll pause right now.
And there is no pause. And Jensen has said over and over again, there's no pause because everybody will take whatever they have.
Right.
They'll take whatever they can because it's so much superior to everything else.
And they're filling up, and they're building data centers anyway, and you got other ones that were built that need to be filled up now. You can't wait.
You gotcha. Yeah. Man, you are so on since you came back from California. You are on.
I'm on.
He's on.
I'm all over this AI thing, and I'm here to tell you, be very careful.
Don't go existential. He insists.
Be very...
Always throwing in something.
I can't help it. Somebody's got to. And by the way, if you voice your fears, perhaps they will not be realized.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
kind
my
of
hope.
like what J-Pal did with the long race.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Jensen's going to be on this afternoon with Bill McDermott and John Fort at a ServiceNow event, and that will be very interesting.
Always. That's must-see TV.
Are you of the mind that a lot is riding on the earnings on the 22nd?
Yes.
Really?
Unfortunately, yes. I don't want that to be because if we get to Blackwell, you're going to see a tremendous number of orders. But I think we're at that moment where if Colette Kress, who runs the call, not Jensen, the fantastic CFO, if she's not a person who cares, she cares about the truth, she does not care about the spin. And there have been moments where she just, look, there's a glitch here, and right now we're not accepting of that kind of a glitch. We're just not accepting of anything other than beat and raise.
Well, although there are some, I think Barron's has a piece today out that argues Meta, Tesla, Apple. We lost a few of the giants in the way of strength in the Mag 7, stock rally hasn't been interrupted much.
That's true. It's interesting. Now we found out, by the way, that Apple had a great March in China.
Right.
Is that ridiculous? Think of all the money that was lost by people who are sending those services that were talking about how February was bad. By the way, February was better than January. So those services to me are discredited. But you're absolutely right. You didn't need the Mag 7 to go because it's a little bit broader than that. At the same time, look, it's bifurcated. I can tell you, look, if you come up with beer, soda, snacks, GLP-1, not as bad we thought, Merck, Pfizer, Lilly, that's what you want to be in. I mean, those are working, and those have not been working.
Absolutely working. Merck shares, by the way, quietly up 20% this year.
And that's because Rob Davis has reconfigured. He's much more than Keytruda.
And that's after,
he's a dynamite
after a
CEO.
good year last year as well, right? So, yeah.
By the way, Rob Davis,
yes,
he does not come off. He's not Liam Neeson, okay? He's like a regular person when he comes on. Yes. He does not have a particular set of skills, okay? He's just a good CEO.
By the way, Jim, we haven't mentioned some growth in Bud.
It's a good quarter.
Yes, stocks reacting. Got an upgrade of Sam, as you point out, today over at Deutsche. They go to hold, but it is an upgrade.
The Charitable Trust owns Constellation, which has been a real winner. Unfortunately, second of mile was cold and rainy. Not part of the thesis I was looking for. But you can't have everything.
You don't own a bar anymore anyway.
I have my wife has a mezcal company. Fosforo, David.
Fosforo.
I'm putting out a cheaper version of mixed drinks coming out next month.
I don't understand what you're saying.
When you have a $100 price point, that's a sipping mezcal. We're having a new.
So you're coming with a lower price.
Yes, so you can make a mezcal margarita or a mezcal mule.
So it can be mixed as opposed to. I understood now.
Right.
Thank you.
Now, because the premium.
Same brand or same name?
Yes, it's going to be part of our ensemble.
I see.
Now, here's something interesting, just apropos of this. Premiumization is something that has been a great theme for every single industry. That peaked. And RH, for instance, is premiumization. We will hear premiumization in beer and alcohol. Look at Diageo.
Delta.
Premiumization has peaked. And
Live Nation, yeah.
That's something.
why would the SEC or the DOJ be looking into this? It's not hard to find commentary from Elon Musk where he has either said it or suggested that it is completely autonomous. Though, if you go and listen to him on conference calls, if you read the fine print with Tesla, they have always said you have to stay aware, you have to stay engaged as a driver. So that's essentially what this investigation comes down to. And it comes at a time where Elon Musk and Tesla are potentially looking to test the robo-taxi. Remember, they're going to be unveiling that on August 8th. They're potentially looking to test that technology in China. There's a report out of China that China is interested in allowing them some area where they can test it in the Shanghai area near the Shanghai Gigafactory. So with all of that in mind, keep in mind that their sales in China were down 18%. It's putting some pressure on shares of Tesla, down almost 3% today.
Philip, you're well aware of the many times the promises been made when it comes to full self-driving not to be fulfilled, at least not in the timeline that had been promised. And once again, we're there. I think it's by August that we have some promises as well from Mr. Musk in terms of an unveil.
Yes, but we don't know what that means, David. I mean, does that mean that they show a car and it maybe doesn't have a steering wheel, and so you don't have to have a driver in there, and he says, this is what we're capable of building and we plan to build? That's conjecture at this point, David. Nobody knows exactly what they're going to be showing.
Yeah. What are you hearing, though, in terms of the newest, whatever we're at, 12.3 here? Because, you know, there is a theme that I've heard from supporters of the company that, hey, they're using generative AI in a different way now to really improve, significantly improve the underlying technology.
100%. I've heard this from a number of people. Adam Jonas put a note out yesterday saying that he's had a chance to test it, and it is a step up in terms of capability. The problem becomes this, David. If you were going to promise a robo-taxi at some point in the future, A, are you going to do it in a geofenced area? And B, if it's a robo-taxi, many people are saying, well, I'll get that software and I'll have my car go off and give people rides. It's that last little bit of the drive. That's where the issue becomes. It's not going off on most streets, definitely not on highways. The technology is, for the most part, there. It's those edge cases that, as much as you can sit there and say, well, we are using AI, we are using all of the thousands, billions of miles of computer video that we're collecting from Teslas in order to say this is what the system should do, the question becomes, on those edge cases, David, when do you have 100% confidence that you can let it go in the wild, so to speak? Because we saw what happened with Cruise. It was in a geofenced area, and there were more than a few problems there, and ultimately regulators in San Francisco said, shut it down until we feel more comfortable.
Okay, Phil, keep us posted
You bet.
as you learn anything about that. Phil, as we head to break, here's our roadmap for the rest of the hour. TikTok suing the U.S. government, saying a potential ban violates the First Amendment. We're going to discuss what comes next and the future for TikTok.
Plus, we have a lot of earnings movers out this morning. Uber, Reddit, any number of other names. We're going to break them all down.
And the health and housing, the CEO of Medford is going to join us as Walk in the Street continues on this Wednesday. Don't go anywhere.
Hello everyone, good morning. Sorry for not saying anything. Video is quiet, so I'm trying to kind of like figure that out. A couple things over here. My audio went bad, so everything live is just like crazy. Right now we're looking at Carvana. Carvana had like some numbers that people think it was the fake numbers. And since the high that was 128, if I'm not mistaken, also they had like a heavily short position. So seems like some type of short squeeze from the all the way to here from the bottom. First was this one, December 2023, 12%, and then went up from like $30. Actually, this stock was trading like way down, like $8 or something like that. Coming from COVID, off the $300 short position, as you guys can see, it was the top, and then went big time short because Vroom, which is another company that do the same kind of deal, sell cars online, is trading like at $7. Of course, they are the first in the business, but still, they lose money. You know, they bought so many cars on the COVID situation and a high price and used cars, and I don't see like they selling the cars right now at profit. Even they saying like they selling at $6,000, like $6,000 profit. But I went to do some interview yesterday in a car dealer, and for a job, for salesperson job, and then like the guy told me like in the new car it's like $1,000 the over market, but still like it's not as much they say. I mean, used car I would say maybe $3,000 to $4,000, but not $6,000. How they blame to be $6,000. So I have a CNBC on my background. Let me mute that. I'm gonna bring to you guys later. So I have this $100 put. Right now it's 113. We are at 1016. So normally we have the timing for the trades start at 10:30. Normally that's what the heavily trades come in. This is OptionsTrade on the left side. You guys seeing this is the live flow. 1016 have some buy here on a SPY. 516 somebody got a 500 contract and $100, so put a $50,000 to play. QQQ. Someone sell put and CGC with Canopy Growth, sorry, at $300 for July. So thinking that's go up. So let's see. Pretty much this morning my plays, save trade. So long it's up 13%. Today's return 0 on the call, down 5%. Carvana 56%, 450. Today's return 19, down 19%. Palantir, I close everything, and so I only have got this two. I close. I think I close at 26. Close this one. Okay. So that's what I have at this moment. Actually, I opened two others. I'll open, let's go long call. The Rio. I got the 4. And I got this at 30. Because my social media stock weights somebody posted. And this one, just for giggle, I got it because I saw the stocks jumping. Normally this jumping a little bigger, so I got the 18 at 3. Come on. I didn't save the other one. This is 3, save, jump, save, and let me see if I got the other one. I don't think I got it. Carvana, Tava, Spy, no I don't. Build, long call, and I got this one. It was Rio. Be real. Got a 4 call. 30. You know, there's 17. So next week. Stock weeks alert. Okay, save. So that's what I have. Total return plus 10 minus so I'm even arm. This is the new play, the one I closed at $200 profit, the 50%. Carvana right now is still $4. How are you waiting for the 10:30? Looking at the 5 minutes, 3 stay 1 minute. 1 minute big block of sell. 3 minutes. The 15 minutes resistance. Let's bring back just the 3 minutes. Push for long. It's 3 minutes. I don't. Maybe sometimes. So this new indicator that I have over here, it say not trading between those two lines. I don't know if you guys can see it. This line over here, I'm not supposed to be trading when the price it's inside this kind of this pattern. They have a support bounced 3 times already from 113. In the 15 minutes. So I got sell and the arrow with the support at 113. So 1 hour. 1 hour. Nothing so far. 2 hours. I mean, everything point to sell. And even this last one for today, it's like the last indicator from this, it's pointed to sell. See, I opened a short position up here. I think it was the same time that I opened the short position on the Weeble, so I don't know. Let's see. Okay, let's go deeper. So in the 4 hours, the support is going down to $92. So between today and tomorrow, we're probably gonna see this price might move into this last support, or maybe even somewhere around here, 102. Maybe hit this line and go up. Maybe, I don't know. If we continue to go down, I mean the formation a day chart, it's very bearish, invert hammer with engulf candle, and then we have this one right here, could be a doji so far, but in the day it's a $90 support with no support whatsoever in this range over here in a day chart. So also 582, so it's going up the price. Damn. Let's go back 5 minutes. Yeah, let's start the long. Look like 11 o'clock. A Fed, some type of guy that spoke before, and every time he says something, the stock, the market has a little bit. The movement. Let's go and spy to take a look, see how things over there. Spy kind of bounced back from 515. See the day chart. And this formation, the 3 candles formation and day charts, a lot of gaps over here. The 4 hours kind of hitting this resistance over here. I don't want these cover at 5 and 18 of it to be like this block on the 4 hours. So 5 minutes long. My hit is the bulls try to pressure. Let's take a look at Teva. My break on the 5 minutes, try to push up, hopefully hit my, but anyway, I can do day trade in this one. Open Carvana. Look like they bounced. 1026. Microsoft, we got 10 billion, $3 billion open along, so well, not gonna lose money. Okay, didn't work. Back to even on that one. Sold. %. Tough. And Nvidia is the one actually pushing the market up today. Apple down, Tesla down 2%, Datadog went up 2%, Carvana is still down 1.74. I mean, you're buying 5 minutes with so much sell that's like crazy. You can do like for next week and go all the way down. But $80. $80 next week. See how it goes. Another sound Carvana, but I had to go 17 and to go like $80, and I purchased this for 10, and let's see. I mean, tomorrow go down to 106. Between today and tomorrow, drop this 6%. Today, tomorrow, 14. Make some money. 12%. Drop like 17%. Cannot do today, but tomorrow, get some money back. Here we go. See, normally you don't sell before 10:30. 10:30 is the time that kind of like see, 1 minute. Stick 1 minute. So I have a big short position. Look at that. Still moving. 113 has become like a nice support for this one. Okay, 113 is broken. Pushing to 112. Three minutes try to build support here, but it's not working. Formation, we have the three black shoulders on 3 minutes. Now 113 become a resistance. And that's the reason you don't sell before 10:30. Trading Classic going up 3.88. The 100. Sold for 8 and went back to 16 last trade. Unbelievable.